Hi, everyone. I'm Tara Milo, health coach, and in this call, I'm going to talk about summer eating and staying cool. And thank you so much for joining me. I'm really excited about this. I created this webinar because eating with the seasons is so important. It can really bring your body into balance, and it'll help you stay more comfortable and happy if you know the right foods to eat, and a couple of tips that we're going to go through tonight about how to stay cool. So it seems kind of like a light topic, a little fluffy, but you know, it is important. We can have some real health repercussions if we don't kind of pay attention to how our body feels and when we're getting overheated, and how we can remedy that situation. I know what can happen for you when you eat foods that are a healthy match for your own unique body type. Imagine what would happen if the scorching summer heat didn't bother you. You had more energy, you could cool your body and calm your mind whenever you need to. Think about all that would mean for you. I know that would be awesome. So, you know, you're in the right place tonight if you get easily overheated and you want to know how to beat that. You're in the right place if you want to learn more about eating seasonal food and how it benefits you. And you're in the right place if you like popsicles. Before I go any further, you might be wondering why I'm here talking to you about summer eating and staying cool. I'm one of these people who is easily overheated, especially during the summer. You can ask my husband, any of my friends, like, if I'm overheated, it's a crisis. We need to cool this thing down immediately. So for me, and you probably have this too, you feel sluggish and tired, you get grouchy. I get headaches and even migraines if I get overheated for too long. So this is really important to me. It's not really that fluffy for me. So after studying nutrition and mindfulness in general, I found a way to balance and even enjoy the heat of the summer. I found the right foods for me and quick ways to cool off when it's too hot. And I've given myself permission to stay out of the heat. If I'm uncomfortable and I'm too hot, I'm going to recognize that situation and make it right. Now, I'm not telling you this to pat myself on the back. I'm just sharing this to show you that you don't have to go another day feeling out of control. It's a lot easier than you think, especially when you have a system to follow. So here's what we're going to cover today. Different foods for each body type, foods to avoid during the summer and kind of always, some tropical cooling foods, seasonal and local cooling foods, which are my favorite, how to make your own awesome ways to cool off, and some other kind of different strategies for staying cool. It's my commitment to give you everything I can in the time that we have together. With the strategies I'm sharing tonight, you will be able to get started right away so you can see immediate results. Now, I know that you might have additional questions or want to learn more about seasonal eating or about eating the right food for your own body type. So for those of you who want to go further, I'll tell you how to do that at the end of the call. My intention for today is to teach you that you can enjoy summer without getting overheated, tired and sluggish, and just plain miserable because it's too hot outside. There are a lot of people who talk about nutrition, and what I find is that a lot of times their focus is on telling you what you can and can't eat, and that doesn't set you up for success. I not only work with clients on what to eat, but I make it fun and simple. We're all busy, so let's make being healthy fun and easy. All right, so let's dive into summer eating and staying cool. And the first thing to talk about is one of my favorite concepts, and it's part of Ayurvedic medicine. It's kind of an ancient Indian system of talking about the body and how to make ourselves feel better. And there's 3 different body types. There's the Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And these are made up of 5 elements: earth, air, water, fire, and space or ether. Summer is the Pitta dosha. So naturally, we get hotter in the summer. The Pitta dosha is kind of known for being hot, kind of hot-tempered. We're really focused, perfectionist, but easily irritated. Very organized. People with a Pitta dosha usually have kind of a medium build and high energy. The Vata body type is more flexible. They're thinner. They're mostly the air element. They're kind of cold, dry, thin. They're a little scattered and a little anxious. But these are the people who can be spontaneous and really creative. The Kapha body type is a little slower, a little sluggish. They tend to get congested. The body type is sometimes a little heavier, a little harder to lose weight. But these people, since they're kind of rooted to the earth, so they're loyal and they're stable. So these are different body types, but each of the seasons also follows these doshas, and the summer is the Pitta season. If you have a Pitta body or mind, and there's some really fun quizzes you can do online about Ayurvedic medicine. So you can look for a dosha quiz or a body type quiz, and you'll find these quizzes, and they're really fun. But if you have this Pitta body or mind, you want to watch out for inflammation because you're easily heated up and kind of hot-tempered, and maybe run a little hot. So when you get nervous or anxious or whatever, you get inflamed. You'll have headaches, rashes, acid reflux, sweating, ulcers, acne, sometimes irritation, impatience, frustration, those kind of things. I have a Pitta mind. I have this kind of focused and perfectionist and not really hot-tempered. I'm pretty even-tempered, but yeah, I do have this Pitta mind. So I tend to go towards the heat when it's hot outside and I get irritated or anxious. My temperature shoots up. It's very uncomfortable. So the Pitta person and everybody during the summer. So summer is the time of Pitta. So everybody's going to be experiencing a little bit of Pitta during the summer. And to balance that, we want to eat foods that brings your body into balance. So if you tend toward the Vata and you're a little more flexible and creative and kind of thinner, you want to eat more Kapha and grounding foods. So that's how you balance. You look at what you normally are and you try to pull yourself towards the middle. But the Pitta, we all experience it during the summer, and if you've got a little Pitta in you, you want to have some more cooling foods to keep that fiery temper and that fiery body temperature under control. Things like coconut water, coconut oil is really good, both on the skin and to bake with or cook with. Coconut oil will keep you kind of cooled off. Watermelon, cilantro, leafy greens, cucumber, mint, dill, cardamom, saffron. Some of these are kind of exotic spices, and they grow in areas that have really high temperatures. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. And if you're feeling a little overheated and kind of hot, you want to avoid sour, spicy foods and heavy protein. That'll just keep you feeling hot. Things to avoid during the summer and kind of always: Starbucks drinks. those are any kind of coffee, like Starbucks is kind of the generic term for all the coffee drinks and these luxurious coffee drinks. They're just loaded with sugar and fat, and not the good kind of fat. It's just not good. There's no benefit to that. Gatorade, vitamin water, those Rockstar drinks, Arnold Palmer, and Pop and Soda, those have so much sugar. They actually have as much sugar as is recommended by the FDA. And the sugar causes that spike and crash. Your blood sugar spikes and you get a lot of energy, and then you crash. And you feel lazy and sluggish and kind of lose track of what's great about summer, being outside and being able to play, having a good time. If you're feeling lazy and sluggish, you're just going to lay on the couch and stay hot and sweaty, and that's gross. So avoiding that extra added sugar is going to help avoid that. Agave nectar is something that we all want to be avoiding. First of all, if you live in Northeast Ohio or, anywhere other than a desert, it's not a local food. So agave comes from a cactus. So our bodies aren't really ready for that. And it's metabolized like sugar. It's the same as sugar. You get that spike and crash. So agave nectar is not a good thing for anybody. And as I said, the spicy, sour, and heavy proteins, those will help balance the dosha. You want to avoid those. The good news is that you can actually eat more sweets like fruit and white rice, kind of sweet things. Bitter foods are good, and astringent foods. Those are good. If you're exercising, you want to do more twists and bends and stretching and less running around, because that's going to overheat you, of course. But look for things like playing and lightness and just having fun. Those are going to benefit you during the summer, the pitcher season. Okay, so tropical foods are really cooling, because if you think about it, they're grown in areas where it's really hot, and the people need to eat something to cool them down, and nature provides that for them in the form of avocados, coconut, pineapple, those kind of tropical fruits. What about in the winter? What do you think happens when you eat those tropical foods in the winter? You get cold. So if you've been making pineapple smoothies in December, you're going to be cold. So just kind of keep in mind the idea of seasonal and local foods, and you'll notice the effect they have on your body. So during the summer, avocado, coconut, pineapple, those are really good for us. Avocado and pineapple have really good healthy fats, so I tend to eat them all year round, but it probably makes me colder in the winter. So just kind of an idea to throw out there for you. What about seasonal and local food? That's really the focus. That's the best thing to look for when you're trying to cool off. It's really natural for our bodies and really cooling or whichever we need for us to eat natural food. Like potatoes and squash grow in the winter, and those are kind of heavier, they're thick, they're grounding, really warming. So it makes sense for us to eat those in the winter, and that's why they're naturally grown and harvested in the winter. Isn't that cool? Leafy greens are grown in spring and summer, and they're cooling. And leafy greens are really good because they bring us out of the heavy winter and right into the light summer, because they're flying around in the air, and they just bring us right up out of the ground. Cucumbers grow in the summer, and cucumbers are really cooling and they're astringent. So those are excellent foods for us to eat to cool off in the summer. But I just think it's so neat that nature just grows the right foods for us at the right time of year. So that's why I love seasonal eating. It's kind of a simple idea, but it has really profound effects if you can try to eat more seasonal foods. Some more seasonal and local foods include things like berries, cucumber, melons like watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew. Those actually grow in our region, so those are good local foods, and they're really cooling. They have a lot of water in them, so they keep you hydrated, and they're nice and sweet, so they keep us cooled off. Lettuce and other leafy greens are great. You can have celery with peanut butter or even sunflower seed butter or sun butter. Awesome snack. Okra is a seasonal and local food that's really cooling to the body. We've got zucchini, asparagus, broccoli, apples, and then some of the herbs would be dill, fennel, cardamom, coriander, and mint. Those are all of our nice cooling flavors. So here's a couple of things you can make your own. I love to make iced tea. It tastes just like Kool-Aid, and I wouldn't lie to you. It really does. It tastes like Kool-Aid. So here's how I do it. I take 1 tea bag and I put it in 3 cups of water, and I put it in the fridge for about 4 hours. Then you can sweeten it with honey or maple syrup. And I want to show you, this is the tea that I would use. It's some kind of sweet, kind of fruity tea. I don't usually drink fruity teas warm because I just don't like it. There's nothing wrong with them. I just personally, I don't like that. But this Tulsi tea that's raspberry peach, it's going to have that nice sweet fruity flavor. This is a good one. You throw in a cup of water with 3 cups of water, and throw it in the fridge. And then you can sweeten it with honey or maple syrup. Now, let's talk about sweeteners for just a second. Because I mentioned avoiding pop, avoiding things like Kool-Aid. They have like 16 teaspoons of sugar in just 1 can of pop. But if you make this tea yourself, there's no way you're going to put 16 teaspoons of sugar. So you'll probably put 1 or 2 or 3 if you're going crazy. And that's just so much better for you than 16. So make your own, flavor it, sweeten it up with whatever you want, and you will love it, I promise. You can make some fun salads. Now, to me, I like to avoid salad, but you can make salad out of things other than leafy greens. So here's a couple of salad ideas for you. You could throw together some black beans with corn and cherry tomatoes and cilantro. That would be a good salad. The corn is really good and sweet and nice and cooling for us, and so is the cilantro. One of our favorites is cucumber with tomatoes, lemon juice, and olive oil. That's really refreshing, and it makes you feel like you're in the Greek islands. You could make up a batch of quinoa and toss it with some broccoli and lemon juice. It'll be nice and cooling too. Lemon juice is funny because the citrus plants are actually in season during the winter. So it's kind of strange that they might be a little more warming, but they just feel so nice and refreshing in the summer. So I like those. You could make popsicles or banana ice cream. We make banana ice cream all the time. And to do that, you peel a banana and then freeze it for, a couple hours or overnight, and then put it in the blender with some peanut butter, some almond milk, and you make ice cream. One of our favorites lately is seltzer water with lime, or they've got those flavored stevias you can drop in. It's just little drops of root beer flavor or watermelon flavor or something, with some plain seltzer water. And that's a good kind of popish kind of flavor. And I promised you popsicles. So Here are a bunch of popsicle recipes. We've got 6 popsicle ideas here. You could blend some cantaloupe and coconut milk, or watermelon and mint. That's one of my favorites. Cucumber and basil. That would be delicious. Strawberry and lime, or strawberry and balsamic vinegar. That is a favorite popsicle of one of our local popsicle vendors around here. And again, with all of these, you could sweeten it with maybe some stevia or some honey or maple syrup. You wouldn't need to add water to any of these. Actually, they would actually produce enough juice to make a good popsicle. With the strawberry ones, I might add some coconut milk or some almond milk just to give it some substance and not use too many strawberries. You can have green tea and local honey and turn that into a popsicle. So just think of any of these flavors that you like and combine them in a blender. Blend them until they're liquefied. Pour them into popsicle containers and freeze them for 6 hours or overnight. And they're delicious, fresh, and cooling. And most of these can be found locally. Everything but the coconut milk, really. You can get local. So that's awesome. Seasonal, local foods. I promised I would tell you about this popsicle. So I had this popsicle at the farmer's market after my cooking demo, and I was overheated, and I just felt like I needed a sweet little treat. So this was blueberry lavender popsicle, and then it crystallized, and it was just beautiful. So I had to take a picture. But this was from our local popsicle maker, and I don't know. I think it's nice to just give yourself a sweet treat once in a while. And so I did that. And I had my popsicle, and it was really good. Other things, other cool stuff. You can get your wrists and your neck just a little wet. Those are your pulse points, and they're really your veins. If you're feeling anxious or stressed out and that's making you overheated, just take a couple of breaths. Couple deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth, and that'll cool you down. Run through the sprinkler. As I mentioned before, summer's the time to have fun. You know, not run 5 miles or 10 miles or whatever it is. Just go have some fun. Run through the sprinkler, or maybe do the kiddie pool or slip and slide. You could go for a hike in our nice shady parks. So, keep it simple. Summer's fun. Do something different and fun to cool yourself off. So choose one thing from tonight's call and just give it a try. You could try making popsicles or some of those alternative suggestions, or even a salad made, not a traditional green salad, but some of those tomato and cucumber salad with lemon juice and olive oil. That's a good one. And I know that if you implement just one thing that we talked about, you're going to see results and you're going to love it. Maybe try that iced tea, that easy iced tea that I mentioned. When I work with clients, we actually go a lot deeper than I was able to go today. And I promised that I would share with you how you can take this even further. So if anything that I mentioned resonates with you or kind of sparks your interest and you want to go deeper, I have a special invitation for you. I want to invite you to a free strategy session with me. In this session, we'll look at what you're doing now, what's working and what's not working, and some recommendations for next steps. So I do have some spots open over the next couple of weeks. So if this is something you're interested in, I encourage you to sign up for a spot. You might have had trouble making changes like this in the past, and I just want to show you that this time can be different, especially if you have someone to encourage you, support you, and show you what to do step by step. I don't want anything to get in your way. Honestly, I want you to be successful and happy. So thank you so much for being with me here today. I love sharing this stuff and just having some fun. We're just talking about eating some good summer foods. And I really can't wait to hear your results. So let me know how you're doing, if you've tried any of these suggestions and how they worked for you. My next webinar will be Sunday, September 10th, and we're going to talk about menu planning and healthy eating and healthy shopping. So that's a really good one. I know that as we go back to school, a lot of families are on a budget and you're looking for some ways to save money and maybe save time, and planning a weekly menu and shopping for good healthy food is a great way to save money and save time. So sign up for that webinar again, and I will talk to you then. Thank you so much.